Uh-oh. Sorry about that. Hey, you guys. Pretty Tarot YouTube channel here, and this is the pick a card reading for why did they disappear? Why did they go MIA? Why did they ghost? Why did they ghost you? Um, why did they go silent? Why are they not talking to you right now? Or why have they not been talking to you for a while or for a little bit? Um, you know, so that's what this reading is regarding. I'm going to show you the decks. Okay. So, didn't mean to show you my cleavage, but yeah, these are the decks right here. So, you guys, um, let me see if I can flip this around. That might make it easier. Okay, that makes it easier. So, these are the decks here that you have to choose from. Take a moment to meditate, be still, be quiet, whatever number, and not even just the number. Yeah, I put stones over them. So maybe you can't select the number, but in case you can, this is deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4. If you cannot select by number, I have put stones on each one so that you guys can kind of go off of that as well. This is amethyst right here, okay? Um, this is, and if you pick amethyst, then you have chosen deck 1, okay? So I'm just going to list, when I do the timestamps, I'm just going to put deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4. However, I put the crystals here to kind of make it a little easier for you to see if it will resonate with your energy better that way rather than to pick a number. So this is amethyst for deck number 1. Deck number 2 is clear quartz here, so it's just quartz. And then I have another stone here. It's kind of greenish, it's very light green colored or whatever. This one is as well. You may or may not be able to see that. But I don't remember what this one was called. I don't remember if it was called citrine or whatever, but it's green. You know, it's supposed to be for prosperity, but it also can be, I think, for clarity as well. But anyway, then so that's then I have rose quartz here. Okay, so I also have rose quartz. Deck number 4 has rose quartz. I have 2 different kinds of rose quartz. The most common kind that you're used to seeing is this one. It's like clear but pinkish, but this is also rose quartz. Okay, as I was told when I went to the metaphysical store to buy it years ago. Anyway, so for rose quartz, deck number 4, these 2 beautiful green crystals here, deck number 3. The clear quartz right there, just the regular quartz, deck number 2, and the amethyst here is deck number 1. Okay, so if you're having a hard time choosing by numbers, then you can go by crystals, but I'm still going to list the timestamps as deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4. Okay, so keep that in mind. Deck 1, 2, 3, 4. Amethyst, quartz, regular quartz, okay, green crystals, and rose quartz. All right, so now I'm going to put the camera back. You guys can even pray about it. Like I said, meditate on it and figure out which, deck you need to choose. I encourage you to only choose one deck because possibly looking at more than one deck could possibly confuse you. However, if you absolutely feel led to select more than one deck because your energy is strongly pointing to you to choose more than one of these decks, then you may do so because it may give you a little bit extra information, okay? But if you don't have to select only one deck, all right? This is a timeless reading, so whenever you come across this reading, it still may resonate with you, depending on what deck you choose, okay? There's no time constraints on this. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to push deck 2, 3, and 4 aside. I'm keeping them together so that I know who was in the correct order, okay? So So I'm pushing them over here to the side. All right. Now, let's see what's really going on for you guys, okay? So if you selected deck number 1, okay, with the amethyst crystals here, and amethyst is for intuition. Let's see what you guys have. Okay, so some of these cards are advice cards. Other cards are here to help you gain extra insight into your situation. Some of these cards I will be reading in reverse, while others I will just nod the reverse energy, but will be reading them in the upright, okay? While others, naturally, however they came out, is how they will be read. Okay, so what's going on here? The reason why your person here for deck number 1, the amethyst deck, the reason why your person disappeared, they're not around, they ghosted you, you know, or the reason they may have gone silent with you and not really speaking to you, or don't have anything to say, or they're not, you know, communicating with you, is because this person feels possibly stuck in their head. They feel restricted. They feel tied up. They also could be very well feeling very closed-minded. They could also be feeling literally just restricted. They literally could just be having something just tying them up emotionally or physically or psychologically. They could have something that is causing them to feel restricted, or to feel like they cannot open up to you, or like they cannot get out of their head and free themselves to think that they can deal with you, or whatever it is. Um, it's very interesting here, you know. Um, they feel like they're in a mental, emotional, or psychological prison as well, possibly. Now, um, it's like they're not allowing themselves as well to enjoy, um, you know, being with you. Um, so they could be closed off for that reason, or they could be not allowing themselves to enjoy themselves, period, you know. Um, Maybe they could just be feeling like they have too many things to deal with, too many responsibilities. But whatever the case is, um, for some reason they are not. They also could be, I'm hearing, not ready, okay, to open up. They're just not feeling free for whatever the reason. They're depriving themselves of joy. They may be depriving themselves of your joy, but um, I also feel like they may be narrow-minded. So they may be narrow-minded or closed-minded about you, or about dealing with anyone in particular, or about what it is that they think you have to offer, or what it is they feel like they have to offer, or whatever it is they feel like you two can have together. They may be feeling narrow-minded, closed-minded about that. And which I also want to say, sometimes people, they think they know what's best for them, but they really don't. It's just that they may have these narrow-minded ideals and ideas about what it is or who it is they think is good for them, or that they want to deal with, you know, therefore restricting themselves. Um, they also have the lacking ability to, um, like I said, be able to do anything. It's like they can't seem to be able to do anything. They can't seem to be able to create. They're lacking creativity. They're lacking expansiveness in their mind, because this is the creation card, but it is in the reverse though. So it's like they're not even able to start anything new. It's also like they don't want to start anything new, you know. Um, it also could be they're not ready to, you know. So either they're not able to, they're not ready to, or they're not willing to start something new, or they're not willing to. And this is not even about something new. This also could be they're just not willing to create something with you. Like they may not be willing to create a relationship with you, or build a relationship with you, or to build a bond with you, because creation is also about building things and manifesting something. So they just may not be ready um, to create any kind of situation with you right now. okay? Or they're not ready to expand with you, or maybe just not at all. But um, you guys will kind of know how this resonates for you individually in your situation. Now, it seems like, uh, yeah, it's like they really feel this sense of lack for some reason. They feel like they're lacking something, or there is something lacking here. Okay, either something's lacking in the situation between you and them, or they feel like you could be lacking something, or they feel like the situation lacks what it is they're looking for, what it is they're seeking. They could be feeling like a lack of opportunity. Maybe they could be feeling like they're dealing with lack of prosperity or opportunities in their own life. So maybe they feel like they don't have anything to give in this situation, because they could be focused on whatever it is that's going on with them, in their life, too busy to really focus on um, if they can deal with you or not, whether as a friend, love life situation, whatever it is, okay? And keep in mind, this reading can resonate however it resonates for you. So if this is about a love life situation, it could resonate. If it's about a personal situation with a friend or a family member or whatever, maybe even a love interest or whatever, like I said, it could possibly relate. But because this is all about there being plenty of fish in the sea, meaning plenty of opportunity, plenty of options. In reverse, it's a lack of options, it's a lack of opportunity, but it's also just pointing out it's a lack of something. Either way it go, okay, that something here is lacking, whether for them or something lacking they see in you, or it's lacking, something is lacking between you two, okay? And don't take this personally if it is because they feel you're lacking anything or whatever, or the situation's lacking something. Um, we are not responsible for how other people feel. Um, unless unless we have done something or said something that it was absolutely hurtful or mean to that person. But even then, um, people have to, when it comes to them seeking something, or it comes to them, they have something they're looking for. We either are whatever this person is looking for, or whatever they feel they are warm to or interested in, or not. But we're not responsible for what it is they feel they want or seeking. And if we appear to not have it, we shouldn't feel any kind of way. You know, that's the way they feel. We still should appreciate and love ourselves and know that we have something to give, and that we have our own good worth, regardless if they can see it or not, or regardless if they're restricted about it. Because you have people, they will have their ideals about what it is they think they want, or what it is they think would be great. And, sometimes people are realistic, sometimes people are not. But then no matter what, it's not our job to be anything that anybody else needs, okay? So just keep that in mind for those of you who are sitting there. If you're like, oh no, he doesn't think I'm what he needs or what he wants, or he thinks I'm lacking something, it may not even be you. But if they feel that way about you, don't take that personally at all. You know, appreciate who you are, and you do not have to be anything that anyone else expects you to be, okay? Unless it aligns with who you are and what it is you are trying to do and what you bring to the table. Now, other details here is this is a situation here where, and I know some of you guys are into the whole twin flame thing, okay? And I'm not saying I don't believe in twin flames. I'm just not a big fan of twin flame situations, because I feel like people, they use it as an excuse to allow themselves to put up with absolute nonsense, absolute BS, to put up with hassle situations, difficult situations where someone is giving them a lot of hassle, a lot of heartache, a lot of issues, simply because the belief that this is someone that is supposed to be an ultimate soulmate for you, someone special that's going to work out and be the most wonderful partner you'll ever have, but you got to get past the obstacles and the hurdles and the lessons and this and that and other and be patient. I'm not a fan of that. If you want to allow yourself to have to go through that experience or to have to deal with that, you know, it's your free will. You can perfectly fine do that. I'm not discouraging anybody. I'm just saying I'm just not a fan of the whole twin flame thing. I don't feel like love should have to be hard. Um, Love should not cause you as much hassles and heartbreak as what people experience with twin flames. You know, twin flames may be very well real. I'm not saying they don't exist, but um, I don't I don't know if it's worth the hassle. You know what I'm saying? We have more than one soulmate in this world, and I think people should find the soulmate that does not put them through absolute hell or hassles, and you know that fits well with them without having to fight or go through changes. You know what I'm saying? Without having to go through the heartbreak and the hassles. So that's all I'm pretty much saying. But I know a lot of times this card is seen as the twin flame card here, the lover's card. But this is like the reverse in some form. And I don't want to say it's like the reverse. It's like, and I'm going to take a moment with this. Okay, so for me, this is almost like while you are in this period in which um, things look dark, things may look dark, things may be gloomy, you may be in the dark with this person. And when I say in the dark with them, in the dark in terms of not knowing what's really going on, um, I feel like spiritually somehow there is still something there. There's still a connection there spiritually. Though it may not appear that way or feel like it because of what them not talking to you or speaking to you, okay? Um, I also feel like this is them not making a decision, okay? Because the lovers in the um because for me with this deck it has two sides, right? This is like the to me this is like um upright, this is like reverse, okay? um it feels like with this being like in the reverse, it's like they're not making a decision because the lover's card is also about making decisions. It's also about contemplating. So it's also about um, you know, being passionate. So it's possible that this person could have lost passion here. They could be feeling a lack of passion. They could be feeling like they just somehow they're not feeling the situation. Okay, they're not feeling it. It's also possible that, like I said, they could just be kind of just in the dark, contemplating. Like they took the time to contemplate. They've been taking the time to maybe try to decide some things or not decide some things, but they're in the, you know, they're leaving you in the dark about it. They're not really choosing a course to let you know because even they're still in the dark about what it is they feel, what it is they think, what it is they are um, feeling, you know. But it still somehow feels like there's a spiritual connection here. Okay, um, but be aware that it's like the light is dim here. So it's like if they were feeling passionate before, they're not feeling it right now because I think they're even in the dark about how they feel and what it is they want to do here in this situation. Okay, um, you have the Queen of Swords here. So this is, you know, you're possibly dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or someone with air in other placements of their chart, like their rising, moon, Venus, Mars. It's also possible that they could just be someone who they are very much not in touch with their feelings and emotions, and they're not really in touch with their intuition. They only go by what they see, facts and figures. They're not very much the kind of person who's going to sit and meditate on things necessarily to see how they feel inside spiritually or whatever. Um, you know, there's someone I feel like, I don't want to say they're rigid about the way they see the world, the way they see things, but I feel like they are. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting intuitively here. This is someone who, they're in the way of the world, is for some reason what I'm hearing. They're also, they could be very blunt, straightforward, someone who, they only believe what they see kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And considering the fact they're in the dark, they're really not able to feel through the dark that well, because they're, like I said, not in touch with their feelings, emotions, and their intuition, okay? This is also someone who, they may need to get focused, or they may be trying to get focused here on uh, maybe priorities. Maybe they have some priorities here in their life that they're trying to get focused on, and maybe they're trying to cut out distractions and cut out whatever they feel is not helping them, or whatever they feel is not serving their greater purpose right now, um, so it's not necessarily, like I said, a reflection on you as to why you're not here for them. This is just really, they kind of need to focus on themselves, because something has them feeling restricted and feeling like they cannot create, or they cannot build or bond, or um, really develop anything with you, or possibly even anyone, really. Okay, they're just not feeling it right now. They're feeling, like I said, a sense of lack, a sense of a lack of opportunities, a lack of options, a lack of ability to swim and breathe, Um, yeah, somebody may, yeah, somebody's feeling very restricted, mentally, emotionally, maybe even physically. Okay. Now, okay, yeah. So something here. Oh, okay, yeah. So something that you may not be paying attention to is, this is perfect timing in reverse. So this is meaning this is not the good time. This is not the right time. Okay, this is not the right time for you to be dealing with them. Um, in the upright, which is, this is how it is intended for me to advise you guys. Um, Timing needs to be perfect. Okay, perfect timing is in the divine order here. I pointed out this being in reverse because it did come up in reverse, and it's because the timing is not correct. The timing is not right. The timing is not in sync with everything that needs to happen here. So you need to trust that everything will work out in its divine timing when it needs to work out, if it is to actually work out here. So, you may hear from them, because this is pointing out that timing is everything here. And I feel like when they're ready, they will come out of hiding, they will come out of the dark, they will come out of the silence, and they will speak up. Okay, and they'll communicate with you. You have the reconciliation card in the reverse. It could be that you could be doubting if there's going to be a reconciliation. Maybe they could be doubting if there's going to be a reconciliation. Maybe you could be feeling like this, just, you can't reconcile here, or maybe they could be feeling that way. You could be worried about that. But in the upright, it's pointing out reconciliation, and it's pointing out that someone from your past is going to return to your life, or will be returning to your life. Okay, it'll be up to you if you're going to be open to that or not. Okay. Now, you have the Three of Fire here. Okay, this is, the Three of Wands. It is signaling here, it's indicating that your ships will come in, your ships will come through. Perhaps their ships will come through for them as well. And this could allow the energy to return back to being more positive, and being one that has some enthusiasm and passion to it. It's pointing out abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. Okay, so don't be nervous. Don't worry about anything. Just do you, work on whatever it is that you need to work on with yourself or for yourself. Live your life. Don't really worry about them. You have share your gifts in the reverse. Uh, Now, I intend for this to be read in the upright in terms of the advice. You need to share your gifts. You need to be generous. You need to be kind and open. However, you may not be doing this. Okay? You may not be doing this. Maybe you have pulled back. Maybe they've pulled back. Maybe they're not sharing their gifts. But typically, this is advice for you, though. Could be vice versa, in terms of who's not doing what or whatever. But um, if you look at this person here, this person is sharing what they have with the other person. Okay? This other person, um, it's like they cooked up this meal because maybe they're good at cooking. Maybe they're good at culinary. Whatever the case is, they're being kind, they're being generous, they're sharing who they are with this person. They're sharing their passions and their talents and their gifts with this person. And it could be that you also need to do the same because if this person is feeling that there is a lack in this situation, a lack of opportunity, a lack of options, maybe a lack of giving. This is fish in the sea. This is fish in the sea. Um, Something else to pay attention to about fish is fish can also represent prosperity. Why? Because um, there's an old saying that if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for life, meaning he'll never go without. Okay? Um, so maybe you know something that could help this person, that maybe you could stand to share with them, that may help them come out of this hiding, come out of this dark. Okay? Maybe could help them see you in a different light. Okay? But also, another thing to point out here, fish is very much also a sign of prosperity and having abundance and things like that. Um, this person may be um, feeling like you don't have much to offer. Maybe because they feel like you're not interesting enough because maybe you have not shown them that there is more to you than uh, what you've been showing them. And for instance, let me just say this, like, for example, okay, you could be attractive. You can be attractive on the outside. You can seem interesting. You could be showing them love. Maybe, you could be, giving them good something in the bedroom. But they could be looking for more than that. And I'll be honest with you. For the women out here, I'm speaking to the women. It's not enough to think that you can catch a guy by appearing to be cute and pretty, appearing to seem sweet, appearing to be into him, appearing to, um, you know, uh, be good in the bedroom. You can't snag a man off of those shallow things alone. You need to show him that you have more to offer, that there is more to you than meets the eye, that you have um, passions, hobbies, that there's more to you than just the typical same old same old, because there's a lot of women out here that's offering the same thing. What makes you different? Share that with this person. You may be a great artist and love to paint. Share that with this person. Show them your artwork. Show them how passionate you are about that. Take them to art exhibits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Show them more of your other side so that they can open up their mind about, maybe possibly building with you or showing interest in you, kind of thing. Um, maybe you're a good cook. Show them that. Now, that doesn't mean you got to cook the meals all the time, but, maybe, invite them to see you make something really cool or something, who knows, cook for a bunch of friends and invite them over so they can see that there's more to you than the typical that guys are used to seeing when they're dating women, gals, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a guy, this could be the same thing. Show this person something different. What sets you apart from all the rest, you know? Anyway, that's kind of where I feel like this was going. This could be going somewhere totally different, but that's kind of what I was getting there. But this is also about being generous, but show how awesome you really are, okay? So that this person may possibly take more further interest in you if you are interested in them. But more importantly, live your best life. So don't sit around waiting for no one, wondering, are they going to talk to me again? Are they going to come back to me again? Are they going to stop being silent with me? Are they going to come out of the hiding? Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Live your best life. Do you. Share your gifts with everyone. They will notice. They will see it. And they'll say, maybe I underestimated so and so. Maybe I underestimated this person. Maybe there really is more to them than meets the eye. Maybe there is more to them than I thought. And you know, you wouldn't be doing so to prove anything to them, but you would still be doing so just to live your life. And by doing so, you're also going to attract other, wonderful options that will be like, looking at you and noticing you that you're awesome. You know what I'm saying? So that's, that's a good piece of advice. I feel like, don't be the person, or, and speaking to ladies again, don't be the chick who thinks it's enough to be cute, pretty, and to seem interesting on one end, but failing to realize that there's more to you, and some people are looking for more than that. You got everybody and their mom on Instagram and Facebook twerking, posting up cute pictures of themselves. After a while, this all gets old. Everybody seems nice. What else do you have to bring to the table? Yeah, everybody has a job, career, their coins. What else do you have to bring to the table? Is it something different from the other person that's going to set you apart? Set yourself apart by being the awesome person that you are, sharing whatever gifts and talents you have with everyone. They'll notice, Anyway, and you will enjoy yourself more by doing you and being true to yourself, okay? So that was deck 1. Now I am going to move on to deck 2, okay? So if you chose deck number 2 with the quartz here, then let's see what's going on in your situation. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm trying to not talk too loud because my babe is asleep, my munchkin, my little guy, and I don't want to wake him up. All right, so if you chose deck number 2, the reason why this person has went MIA, why they disappeared, why they ghosted you, why you haven't heard from them in a while, why they, while they seem to have went away, or why they've gone silent on you and not really speaking to you or whatever, too much or whatever at all. This person, maybe there is a need to compromise with them, okay? This person may feel like, and I'm going to point out why they may feel like there's a need for you to compromise. They may feel like things are out of harmony with you guys, and that there's a need to come to an agreement. There's a need to compromise on both ends. Maybe they may even feel like you need to do it on your end only. But whatever the case is, it's because they are feeling like a victim, or they're playing the victim role, okay? Maybe they might even be thinking you're playing the victim role. Whatever the case, someone here is playing the victim, whether it's you or them, or both of you, and there's a need to compromise, therefore. Because without doing so, this person is choosing to go MIA and just not talk to you because they feel like either you treated them some kind of way and they feel some kind of way about it, and you're not acknowledging that, and agreeing to, either do better or to not, be this way. Or it could be vice versa. You could feel this way about them, okay, where you feel like they treated you some kind of way, therefore you feel some kind of way and feel like they need to compromise or and agree to do better, or to be different. It could be both of you feel this way. Okay. I feel like that is key for you guys. You guys have the key to unlock this situation here. Okay. The key to the knowledge. But this is real key. It's funny that the key is here, but the key could also be your intuition, okay? Your discernment. And I feel like you guys know what it is that has them feeling this way or has you feeling this way, and whatever the case could be. They could be giving space because they feel like, you know, you need time or they need time to just, you know, um, be willing and ready to compromise. And if you guys are not ready to do that, then it's no wonder that, you know, they're not talking, you know. Maybe you're not talking to them either, and therefore that they're not talking either. You both could be doing the same thing. Being stubborn, being at a standstill because both are playing victim or one or the other's playing a victim, you know. Um, Now, what's interesting here is, yeah, you got the Six of Wands here in the reverse. So this is just pointing out that you guys, um, no one's winning here. No one's winning here. Lack of victory. Okay. No one's getting anywhere here either. Okay. And it's because we have the Hangman here, the Hangman card. Um, it's possible that you guys are just both hung up on, you're having your hang-ups. You both could be having your hang-ups, or they could be having their hang-ups, or you could be having your hang-ups. Okay? Can't let this go, can't let something go. Um, you know, hanging in there, waiting for one or the other to speak up first, but not really doing so. But with this being in reverse, I feel like you both are aware, or the other person could be aware, or you could be aware that I think you guys know what's going on here. And, you know, kind of feeling like, well, you know, it's your move first. Okay? That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. But um, nothing's going anywhere with things at a standstill, though. And especially if you have hang-ups and you're aware of them on either end, you or the other person or both. Okay? So there's a need to compromise, okay? You both can't be the victim. They can't play the victim, you can't play the victim, you both can't play the victim. That is key here. You guys had the key to unlock this situation to um, remove these blockages and open the communication back up and get things to work out. But I feel like neither one is willing to do so. Okay. Uh, you have the wait card here reversed. So it feels like there's impatience here. But you're being told to wait. You need to wait. Okay? Just take a pause here. Don't be quick to rush in. My battery is getting low, so I'm going to have to speed this up. You guys have also the Love Yourself First card in reverse, meaning somebody here is not putting themselves first. Someone here is not, their self-esteem is not intact. Okay? Whether it's you or them or both of you guys. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive is what's being indicated here. Okay? So have your pride. Okay? Have your pride here. There may be a reason why you felt the way you felt, or the way, or the reason why you may have decided to be how you have been with them. And maybe it's because you know you deserve better than what they've been showing you. Could be vice versa, whatever the case is, okay? But you have the Nine of Cups here. This is about getting a wish, okay? And this is indicating that you can get your wish. This is wish fulfillment. You can get your wish fulfilled, okay? You can get what it is you wish for. Which, granted, your wish comes true. Concerns fade away, a love of life, okay? But you need to make sure you respect yourself, um, and put yourself first, okay? Um, and compromise is important, but don't compromise um, in a way that compromises your self-respect and your value. Don't compromise in that form. You can find a way to make peace, but do not compromise in a way that it degrades you in any form, or that it's you selling yourself short. Do not sell yourself short. Have your self-esteem intact. Okay, don't be ready to jump uh, too fast into this, or to give into this person too fast, because they could be playing the victim role. Okay, possibly. This resonates differently for the different of you guys. Now this says give it to God, but it's in the reverse. So it means this situation is out of your hands, and you should just give it to the universe, give it to God, give it to the angels, give it to the divine spirit, pray about it, and then release it. Okay? Don't hold on to it, because some situations and some things are clearly not always in our control. Some circumstances are not always in our control, and we cannot control other people or get people to always see things the way that we see them. Because if someone's going to play a victim, then it's sometimes nothing you can do to convince them of that, and you don't need to compromise your values and your self-respect in order to make them feel comfortable or feel better or feel vindicated, so that they can continue to do the same thing over and over again. Don't do that, okay? Give it up to God. Let God handle it, okay? All right. If you chose deck, deck number 3, these beautiful green stones right here, let me hurry up and get to your reading, because I don't want my camera to cut off on me, okay? Oh boy. All right. Okay, so what's going on here? Your person, the reason why they disappeared, ghosted you, went MIA, not talking to you, you're not hearing from them, is because there is a lack of devotion here. They are not committed to the situation. They're not committed to you. They're not committed to the cause. They do not feel devoted to the situation, you, or the cause, okay? Because it's the devotion card upright, in reverse. They are not in it to win it, okay? They're not loyal to you or to anyone or to the situation. Um, they may not even be interested in being devoted, period, meaning they're not interested in commitment. They're not interested in um, having any loyalties to anyone, okay. They're also experiencing this is the grief card upright, but this is in the reverse, okay. They're not feeling um, I feel like they have a lack of a lack of empathy. They don't feel, and I wanted to say this before, they don't feel sorry for you, or they don't feel sorry for anyone. They don't feel sorry for themselves. Um, and I feel like they lack morality. They lack having good values. They lack they lack being ethical. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I mean. They feel very unethical. They feel very much like they don't have any good sense of values. They seem like they lack morality, like they don't even have any care or concern about anyone, probably other than themselves. This feels like a selfish person who they could be only, like I said, they're not trying to commit to anything or anyone, and it feels like they're choosing to do them. They're not really concerned about you or the situation. Um, with what I'm seeing here, this person does not want to do the right thing. Okay, they don't want to do the right thing, or they don't want to do right by anything or anyone. Um, you got a water sign here, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone with that in their chart, in other areas of their chart, rising, moon, Venus, Mars. If not their sun sign, this also could be someone who is typically would be intuitive. They may be in touch with their feelings, emotions, except I feel like this is them in the reverse. Um, so they may really actually be out of touch with their feelings and emotions, not really caring. They could be emotionally just kind of self-centered or selfish. They could be drama, okay? Kind of, they could be just turning their back to you and being stubborn, okay? Not really being open. Um, they could be all in their feelings and their emotions, um, but not, in meaning they're not really carrying positive emotions. They're not carrying positive feelings. They're not even really caring or concerned about you or the situation. They've got their back turned here, okay? Um, this is someone who may also like to drink, but this is on the negative, so they may be on the drunk, like the side of someone who drinks too much. And when they do, they're not the best or they don't behave the best. This is not going to apply to everyone in this deck, but it does resonate for someone. Um, I don't know why I'm hearing Scrooge, but anyway, whatever the case, uh, here you have the magician, okay? But it's like you're looking at it in the reverse, okay? This is someone who um, they use their charm but not for good, okay? They use their charm but not for the good, okay? They use their charm to get their way. They use their charm to um, manipulate and get whatever it is they want, okay? They work their magic in ways that is not fair to other people, okay? Um, for somehow I just feel like this is someone who's doing them. But this is also, I feel like, someone who they don't even also put in the effort either, okay? If that makes any sense. So they may do what it is that will suit and benefit them, but not what will suit and benefit you. This person may also have more than one choice or more than one option or more than one path that they can take, okay? So it's another reason why they are not dedicated or devoted here. Um, Then you have pay attention to the red flags, okay? The signs are cautioning you. Pay attention to red flags. They're showing you who they are. They're showing you their ways. Pay attention to it. You have helpful people here, okay? Seek out advice from friends, family. You can get consult with someone, get a reading, even if it's not me. Counseling, whatever. Seek out helpful people here, okay? Because um, you may not be seeing this clearly. The signs are there, but you probably could be ignoring it. Sometimes you need to get another friend or someone else to help you see what you're missing. You have the page of air here. Someone is watching, observing, or spying here in the situation, maybe even gossiping or talk behind the scenes. Um, this is this is a card that has logical, honest, impulsive, but also curious type of energy. It says challenging information, delays or change of plans, truth delivered without tact. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay, I also feel like it's pointing to you. Pay attention, watch, look, observe. They may be doing this with you. You never know, spying or whatever. But advice you have here: clear the fog. Okay, clear the fog. Things are looking real foggy. They're looking real confusing. They can't even see you. You may not be able to see them. Clear the fog. You know, maybe they can't. This is all. It's also possible, and I didn't mean to come off as negative, but it's also possible that this person is not even thinking about you or anybody else. They got their back turned. They're kind of going inward in their own feelings and focusing on themselves and focusing on how they feel. Okay, maybe because they don't feel the best. It's also possible that this person does not feel very empowered. Okay. But somehow I feel like their value system is off. There's just something about this person that's just not right or not good, okay? And maybe that's why they decided to just, maybe that's why their behavior is showing as it is, them disappearing. You also have reach out. You're not doing that, but you're being encouraged to do so, okay? For whatever reason this may be. If you're dealing with someone who normally they seem like a good person, but just for some reason they disappeared, it just could be that they're out of sorts, out of touch with their own feelings and emotions. They don't know how they feel. Maybe they're not ready for a commitment, or maybe they're not sure if they're devoted to the situation because they have more than one option, more than one path to choose from, more than one person, more than one direction they can go. Okay? And it's right now they're probably just focusing on what do they want, how do they feel, and just kind of turning their back to everything and everyone, and thinking about themselves first. Okay, they could be feeling somehow like they're not doing the right thing, and maybe they want to, maybe but or they could just be, like I said, be unethical. Whatever the case is, they're not losing any sleep or any tears over this because the grief card in reverse. All right, so now I gotta move on to deck number 4 before my phone cuts off on me. So if it seems like I'm speeding up, deck number 4, here you go, rose quartz. Here's the whole thing. My phone doesn't cut off. Okay, I still got 7%. That's enough to get me through. All right, let me hurry up and get there. Okay, I spent maybe a little bit too much time on the first one. I do not have my charger to plug it in, so I'm not even going to waste any time. So yeah, deck number 4, the rose quartz. The reason why the person you are wondering about has ghosted you, disappeared, went MIA, not speaking to you, went silent is because they're experiencing something new going on in their life, a birth of something, a new opportunity, a new fresh start. Maybe they're desiring a new fresh start. Maybe they want something new. Maybe they're looking at a new opportunity. Maybe they have a baby on the way. Maybe they are someone is pregnant. Maybe someone just had a child. Maybe they have a child. Maybe they're focused on children. Maybe they are focused on dealing with a mother or something. Okay, whatever the case is, maybe they're headed in a new direction. But this is due to the fact that they have a loss of faith here, or they are lacking faith here in the situation, okay? For whatever the reason could be. They're not feeling optimistic or positive, maybe about the situation they had with you, or maybe for some reason they're just not having any faith about whatever's going on in their situation, possibly. And like I said, they are seeking a fresh new start, new opportunity, something different. Now, what I have here is the mountains in reverse. They don't feel stable. They don't feel secure. They probably feel like they they're not steady either, because the mountain, it is immovable, it is secure, it's steady, it's strong. Okay, this is something, for some reason they don't feel strong. They and that's why I see this lack of faith here. They don't feel secure. They don't feel like they're on the top of the world either, because the top of that mountain to me is also the top of the world. Now, it seems like there's something that has been stagnant for them, or there's stagnation in the situation between you and them. Maybe there's stagnation going on in their life where it feels like they're not seeing any growth. It feels like they're not seeing any progress, you could not be seeing any progress. Maybe there's no progress between you two, or maybe there's no progress in their own life and in their situation. They planted seeds, they're investing, and they could be impatient about seeing things grow, seeing things pay off, seeing their rewards pay off that they invested in, because it does take time to see things grow. It's also possible that they could be fearing nothing's going to grow. But there was something else I was going with this. It's also possible that maybe they are just way more patient about where things go. But somehow I feel like they're not, and they're concerned. Like I said, the lack of faith wanting a new opportunity, feeling unstable and not feeling very strong. Whatever the case is, um, it looks like they are ready to rush into something, or they're anticipating rushing into something. They could be making some plans. Um, they could be considering moving forward, and possibly moving forward in a different direction, either away from you or a different direction towards you. Um, you know, but somehow, like I said, there's a lack of faith here, and they could be seeking to move on to something new. Okay. What you have here in the reverse is don't stop. So you could be not doing anything here anymore. You're being told don't stop. Do not allow the situation to stagnate. Continue forth. Maybe you feel like you need to move forward. You also have let your friends help you in reverse, because you may not be allowing anyone to give you any advice or whatever, but it says ask for and accept support from others, okay? Whether it's friends, a counselor, a reader, whether it's me or someone else or whatever, okay? Family, friends. You have the Two of Earth here in the reverse. That's signifying not being able to balance things out, not being able to make things work. Um, but you're being told that you're going to have to find a way to make things work, to balance things out, to differentiate between what's healthy and what isn't, okay? But be careful with this juggling, that you do not miss out on your ships coming through because you're too busy trying to make things work. But it's pointing out there's too much going on at once. The need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach, okay? And your final card is spread the light, meaning lead the way. Lead the way. This person may not know where this situation is going with you. Heck, you may not have even known. But I feel like it's pointing out that you need to give some indicators here. You need to maybe even make a decision and then go in that direction, okay? Kind of be a leader here, you know. Don't allow the situation to stagnate. So maybe they're not talking, and maybe they went ghost because maybe you're not talking. But this says you are safe, even though it feels like there's vultures flying around and you don't know if you're gonna maybe end up getting hurt or whatever it is. You lead the way, okay? It'll make sense to those who it needs to make sense to, okay? That is your reading. If you're interested in getting a personal reading with me, you can check the description box below, and also check in the comment section. I appreciate any of the likes. Please subscribe if you would like to know when any other readings are coming up. And please check out my other pick a card readings and my celebrity readings, and the monthly tarot scopes for the water signs, fire signs, earth signs, and air signs, okay? And I appreciate you guys commenting and let me know how I'm doing. And peace and love, and there will be more readings coming up.